All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Peace and Black Power. This is In Black America Radio with your host, Rasta B. It is August 4th, 2017. Guest calling number 646-716-4654. And we're back. It's In Black America. We took last week off, had a lot of stuff to do. Really just needed that break. Sometimes you need time for the news and shit to catch up to the information. So we back. We got a lot of things to talk about. We're gonna be talking about a lot of shit. I don't even want to list them because I don't want to list things and then end up not getting to it. So I'm just gonna let you know that pretty much what we're gonna be doing is dealing with current events today. You know what I'm saying? But just not to waste any more time, let's go ahead and bring in my co-host, Smoke. Smoke, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Shit, what up, y'all?
Back. We back. Big Friday, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Nice little week off, but I mean, it wasn't really no break, but you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? We back in the building, man. Just happy to be back. A lot of shit going on, you know what I'm saying? A lot of funny shit, just a bunch of shit going on. So we'll see what we can get to. You know how the combos be.
Hell yes, a lot of shit, a lot of crazy shit going on. So we're going to address all that weirdo shit. Like I said, the guest calling number 646-716-4654. And, yeah, let's go ahead and get into some of this shit. First, I would like to speak on that happened last week. I wanted to speak on, I'm trying to see, can I find it? Apparently I can't find it. I need to delete some of this shit. But I wanted to, let me not speak on it if I can't find it. But
see, while you looking for it, did you hear about Prodigy? Yeah. The coroners or whatever, they confirmed that. Yeah, they supposedly confirmed that he died because of accidental choking, and they was trying to say like, you know what I mean, it's more than likely an egg or something that choked him, and that was, you know, that resulted in his death. So pretty much, it wasn't him, you know, any complications from the sickle cell that he has, because supposedly that's why he was going to the hospital. That's why he was even at the hospital. So now they're saying that, you know, it wasn't something that happened because of that. He died because of an accidental choking. Like, wow. That sounds real crazy, though. An egg, how the fuck you choke on it? He was eating a whole egg or some shit. Like, I don't know, but shit. Rest in peace, Prodigy. Like, damn. It's crazy.
Yeah, man, that shit. And I remember that was a rumor.
In the beginning.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and it's like now it's confirmed, I guess. But see, the sad part about it is, you know, we got to rely on other people to tell us. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
So,
yeah, that's what's up,
you know, yeah, we can't even be like, yo, let me go and Zoom like this, like the story of the brother in Georgia. It was like not the city, but it was like what you kind of Google this now? I think for some reason I feel like it's Kendrick or something. But the brother was in like rural Georgia. Yeah, I know it was Kendrick Johnson. It just shot straight into my head, but I wasn't sure. The brother named Kendrick Johnson, January 11th, 2013, he, no, not Kendrick Johnson. That's not the one I'm speaking of. then, because he's the one that was rolled up
in the mat.
Yeah, in the mat. It was another. Who was the brother when they yeah, Kendrick Johnson. I knew it. Like literally when I said the name popped up. Then when they exhumed the body after they said, "Oh, he died by his weight," you know what I'm saying? Crushing his you know what I'm saying, killing him or whatever.
His organs.
They exhumed the body and see he was missing organs. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so it's
right.
They could sit there and turn around and say Prodigy died of an egg, and then we like, oh, okay. And then you might see there's a big ass hole in the back of his head. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't got the tool. Yeah, we rely on their system for anything.
That sounds crazy. So.
Let's just bug the fuck out, man. But yeah, man, you know, rest in power to Prodigy, you know what I'm saying? That's why I played that joint too, because, like he said, everything ain't the Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to twist this spliff, man. That's why it sounds so distant. But,
okay.
Now I'm talking about in my talk, and like what I'm trying to talk about. Because I'm trying to concentrate on the split and talk, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah. Yeah, so, all right, so I'm finished, so, all right. Now, here we go. This is what I wanted to bring up right here. So now we got the whole situation going on with, I want to bring up this whole Jeff Sessions thing real quick. They have a story I ran across where they're talking about Attorney General pot theory is not echoed by the task force. So it goes, the betting was that Law and Order Attorney General Jeff Sessions would come out against the legalized marijuana industry with guns blazing. But the task force Sessions assembled to find the best legal strategy is giving him no ammunition, according to documents obtained by the Associated Press. The task force on crime reduction and public safety, a group of prosecutors and federal law enforcement officials have come up with no new policy recommendations to advance the Attorney General's aggressively anti-marijuana view. The group reportedly largely reiterates the current Justice Department's policy on marijuana. It encourages officials to keep studying whether to change or rescind the Obama's administration more hands-off approach to enforcement, has allowed the nation's experiment with legal pot to flourish. The report was not slated to be released publicly, but portions were obtained by AP. Sessions, who has assailed marijuana as comparable to heroin and blame it for spike in violence, have been promising to reconsider existing pot policy since he took office 6 months ago. His statement has sparked both support and worry across the political spectrum as a growing number of states have worked to legalize the drug. Threats of a federal crackdown have united liberals who object to the human cost of a war on pot and some conservatives who see it as a states' right issue. Some advocates and members of Congress have feared the task force recommendation would give Sessions the green light to begin dismantling what has become a sophisticated multi-million-dollar pot industry that help fund schools, education programs, and law enforcement. That's the reason why they can't get rid of it. They're not going to do nothing with the whole pot shit. For that reason right there. You see what I'm saying? They said green light to dismantle
too much money.
What has become a sophisticated multi-million-dollar pot industry that helps fund schools, education programs, and law enforcement. That right there, you can't get nobody to back you for that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why
once they had that run in Colorado and that shit was successful, that was it. Once they saw what happened out there in Colorado, it was like, all right, this is going forward. So a lot of that is just talk, man. marijuana is coming.
Yeah.
There's too much money.
There's
too much money involved.
Yeah, just to steer shit up. That's all. Scare it up, have everybody nervous, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that. But there's no way it could have stopped anything because too much money. It's tied up. So what's you going to do? The law enforcement that used to getting that nice surplus, they're going to be cool with getting that reduced? Then here's the question. How are you going to replenish that? Education, you know what I'm saying? The different industries that benefit off it, yeah, that would have been a disaster because now you got to get people to sign off. We wasn't going to get that. You know what I'm saying? So then that's the end of that. That's the end of that.
Yeah, he ain't going to.
So again,
that's not going to gain too much traction.
Word up.
Yeah, he's a just for him even trying to take on that type of fucking thought process to let you know, man, it's like these cats ain't the brightest, man. And it's more plays into that locking motherfuckers up type shit. You know what I mean? Like where they can bring those laws in and you know, locking kids and just people in general up for fucking small weed offenses. I mean, I don't have the stats in front of me, but we all know that most of these, a lot of these arrests that's happening be for weed offenses. Simple weed offenses. Now you got
that. But it's black people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
It's black people.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's us. You know what I'm saying? So I think that him doing that is playing more into that thought process. But it's, you know, like we just said, it's too much money involved.
And what people don't understand is the whole shit is it's a play on control. As long as you got a lot of oppressive rules and laws and stuff like that, it makes the people scared. You know what I'm saying? Out of fear of being incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they play that, but at the end of the day, it's too much money in that, and people know that it's a lie. You know what I'm saying? It's the whole shit's a lie. So when you hear people say that, you know what I'm saying, with the whole Jeff Sessions, and he want to, you know what I'm saying, crack down on the marijuana, people looking at you like, that's like saying I'm going to crack down on water or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to crack down on aloe vera. And people be looking at you like you crazy. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? No, aloe vera's not, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. It's like, there's only so long you can keep up this lie. You know what I'm saying? It's just sounds silly. You can't even counter the argument.
Did you see that story about the county in it's in California, Calaveras County, and it's in California, I want to say, and like in San Andreas is like part of it, like one of the cities in Calaveras County, and they like in that county they cracking down heavy on anybody, you know what I'm saying, growing plants and shit. So they taking it as they locking people up for growing in that part of California, whereas everywhere else in the state is like, you know, they have those different laws or whatever. And just in that county, they were saying like over this, like I think it was this past week or whatever, they took 27,000 plants down, you know, in different raids in that county, and you know, like 40 people got arrested or something to that effect. So, you know, it's just playing into that statement of before, when they have those type of laws where, you know, where it's not clear cut that marijuana is legal, they could go in, shut shit down, take all of these plants, and then lock people up, and you know what I'm saying, and put it back in the system. And that's going to affect us the most. It's going to affect us.
No, them people are white.
Right.
People white. You know what I'm saying? That's why when it comes to the whole racial shit, my thing is this. I would never take white people off the chopping board, you know what I'm saying, what they did to our ancestors, but look how they treat themselves, each other, you know what I'm saying? Why the fuck do you think you're going to get equality from people that, look how they treat themselves? You know what I'm saying? They'll throw the book at themselves. They'll sit there and let a child rapist get off on 6 months and 3 months in jail and all kind of weird shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Why are we getting caught up in listening to, trying to follow another people's society and format and formula of living, and then begging for equality, and then you be like, man, look how they have their own people living. They will move white people into a damn neighborhood where everybody dying of cancer because of a big-ass radiation field or some shit. You see what I'm saying? So it's like they would do that to their own people. So when they do that to you, you know what I'm saying? Then we sit there and be like, they're racist. We need to stop racism. No, we need to build an economy, build our economy, strengthen our neighborhoods, our communities, our families, and then separate ourselves from the bullshit. That's the only way to protect ourselves. That's it. But trying to be comfortable in another person's economy, that's madness. That's madness. And that's why we got to be subjugated to all these laws and rules. You see what I'm saying? That's the real reason why. Because we want to be subjugated to that shit. We don't want to have our own. We don't want to have our own. That's a huge problem that we have. You know what I'm saying? But I want to do an update story. Wait, let me do an update story real quick. This is a change of subject, but I mentioned this story a while back about a Maryland school aide and a track coach who was accused of sexually assaulting several male students, and he was HIV positive.
Oh, remember.
You ever heard? Well, I said that.
It might have been one of the shows.
Maybe it could have been, yeah, it could have been one of those shows. Well, he has been handed a 119 count indictment that could see him sentenced to more than 1,500 years in prison if convicted. They say authorities have accused 30-year-old Carlos D'Angelo Bell of sexually assaulting at least 24 victims without wearing protection between May 2015 and June 2017. Damn. He was arrested in July after the investigation was launched in December when parents allegedly found inappropriate text between their child and Bell. On Monday, the Charles County State Attorney's Office announced the charges against Bell. They included 12 counts of child sexual abuse, 38 counts of second-degree sex offense, and 44 counts of filming child pornography. Just these charges amount to a maximum sentence of 1,500 years in prison. So, so that's why they said it's more than that. Okay. They said Bell worked for La Plata, PLATA High School as a track coach, but was removed from the school and cut from his position when the investigation was launched. He also worked at J.P. Ryan Elementary School and Benjamin Starter Middle School in Waldorf. Bell worked as a track coach at Morris J. McDonough High School in Pomfret, too. According to the state attorney's office, the charges against Bell also included 2 counts each of third-degree sex offense and second-degree assault, 2 counts of solicitation of a minor, 3 counts of transmitting or attempting to transmit HIV to another, 5 counts for displaying obscene matter to a minor, 5 counts of contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and distribution of marijuana. Investigators believe there could be more victims. At least 2 students tested negative for HIV. 2. He's charged with 3 counts of attempting to transmit. 2 was found negative with HIV, but he was fucking with, what they said, 24 victims. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 24. In various schools, various age ranges, because he went from elementary, middle, high school, you know what I'm saying, and all kind of shit. Me personally, he should get the death penalty. You know what I'm saying? What's the point of having him sit in jail for 1,500 years. You know what I'm saying? Fry that bastard. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see that one.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give the update.
Fucking savage, man. Yo, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch your kids in these fucking sports and these coaches. They have a lot of time with the kids outside of school and outside of parental vision, and so supervision.
Yeah.
And so you know, you ain't paying attention to your kid. You're not around. You're not establishing yourself as a parent who watch and who care about their kid. Your kid could be that. You know what I mean? Your kid could be one of those victims. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure those ain't all the victims. You know what I'm saying? There's kids somewhere who ain't gonna say shit.
Yeah, they said it wasn't.
Yeah, well, you know it's
there might be a kid in jail. Some of his victims might be in jail. They might have fucking bugged the fuck. Now they out here fucking wilding out in the street.
Kill themselves or did some shit, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Watch these sports, man. Shit, man. Watch these characters, man. And we shouldn't be just investing our kids in that. You hear that a lot in the community where it's like, you know, we want our kids to be these sports stars and make all this money for us and shit. And there's predators all along that route, man. And if you're not there really being an active presence in your life and just relying on that structure to raise your kid, or yo, man, you're gonna lose, man. You're gonna lose. And like shit, since we talking about sports, did you there's a story out now about, well, it's been talked about for the last few years or so, where the NFL has the issue of CTE, which is like a degenerative brain disorder that comes from you know, it's caused by repeated blows to the head. So I'm pretty sure most of the listeners, if you're not a fan of football, you've seen football, you know, there's violent hits, you know, injuries, you know, you always see guys on the sideline, you know, with concussions and so forth. And I can't think of the movie off the top of my head, but Will Smith, he played a African doctor.
Concussion. You just said it.
Okay. In that movie,
concussion.
Concussion. In that movie, and it speaks to that doctor discovering the CTE and having the you know, doing the research on it and all of the findings. So recently they had a you know, a study of there was 111 brains that were collected from the dead former football players, and it was ranging from NFL players to like high school players. So it's all type of levels of sports, you know. But a lot of them is actually 202 players. 111 of them came from the NFL. So they studied the NFL brain. Out of the 111 brains, only one did not have CTE. And they got brains from every... Huh?
What position was it, did they say?
Well, they got the brain... Okay, they got 44 line. They got from every position. So it's 44 linemen, 20 running backs, 17 defensive backs, 13 linebackers, 7 quarterbacks, 5 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, a place kicker, and a punter. So they got all of the positions that could possibly be in sports. Totaling 111 different brains. Only one of them didn't have that disease. Only one. And this was, the brain ages were from, these weren't all old men. This was from age 23 to 89. And these are of the NFL players. Every position. So if you just take that percentage, pretty much everybody's getting CTE. You're going to have this in your life. Mm-hmm. And so this is just basically like, it causes issues in them. Like they had Junior Seau. His story long ago, he ended up like going mad and killing himself. And there are other sports that require contact, like fighting, boxing. You know what I'm saying? We've all seen the stories of boxers getting killed in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Or just having disorders. You think of Muhammad Ali is the first person I think of. You know, I can't say that his disease was associated with that, but hey, we don't know. You know, and it's crazy. So they were saying that now the NFL they are acknowledging the link between football and that disease, whereas before they were totally not. They weren't acknowledging it at all. They were saying that CTE was a result of something else, and that football itself didn't have any direct effect on it. But according to the movie Concussion, which is based on true information, the NFL did everything to hide this, and they had the lawsuit with the former players where they settled out and end up paying them some hundreds of millions of dollars of all the older players to play them out in reference to the CTE case that the NFL was being sued about. So how it reflects back on us is that you see this especially in the South, where football is like almost, it's part of the culture almost. You know what I'm saying? Where you see the young kids, they out there, and we know how the black community is. We tout athletes, we put them up, we on a pedestal, and and if you think about this, it's like you sending your kid out to pretty much to have a fucked up life. You see these players, they can't walk. I saw a story with Antoine Randall L. He used to play for Pittsburgh, and he was saying how he can't walk down the steps. He can't walk down the steps. You know how you just straight walk down the steps? He have to turn to the side and hold the banister to go down the steps. They had another player, Jamal, son that used to play for the Ravens. I can't think of his last name, running back. He was saying how he forgets what he said 10, 20 seconds ago. In the interview that they had with him on ESPN, he's talking, answering the question, and then you can just hear him he just filibustering. And then he goes back what was the question you asked me? You know what I'm saying? So it's we breeding our kids into this system where the NFL is making all these billions of dollars off of our kids, off of these young men. They don't get guaranteed contracts. So if a player comes out and they hit their head, they out for the rest of their career ending injury. You get cut, you might get paid the rest of your check for that year, and then you done. Nobody has to pay you anything. So we can't tie it into what we always talk about is the economy. Instead of focusing our kids on sports, and in this case we're talking about football, but we can tie this to all sports. Instead of putting our kids into or breeding our kids in to come up to help these owners become billionaires or further escalate their billionaire status, we could be having our kids in occupations that's going to help our community. You know what I mean? The technology sector, you have apps, coding. We need to put our kids into, those type of programs and have, and build an entrepreneurial mind frame instead of pushing our kids into, these sports all the time. And specifically in the case of football, yeah, you sending your kid to die. You sending your kid to have a horrible life if they make it through. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy how, with your statement before of how they treat their own people, how they'll just do things. And the example you gave was that, they'll send them to a neighborhood that's radioactive. This is what this is. They know that the repercussions of this contact, especially to the head, they know that this is happening. This is not new information. This is just how long it took for them to come out. This is 5, 10 years, maybe longer of information that's been out there, and they continue to make billions of dollars. This is a $1 billion industry, the NFL. And so
Yeah,
we got to stop.
But what happens too is it also frees up those positions for those black people that if that's what you want to do, you don't have a whole bunch of other people entering the athletic realm because that's the only options that we know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now you spread it out. You know what I'm saying? We spread that shit out because instead of us directing 90% of our children into sports and entertainment, we might have 20% that goes into sports, and that's the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? We having the best of the best in high school. You know what I'm saying? Because if you done made your way all the way through let's say kindergarten, junior high school, or started in junior high school, got to high school, then pretty much that's what you want to do, then cool. But then you have another 35% of black people going, or 45% of black, well, I'll say 35% of black people going towards science, math, engineering. You see what I'm saying? Then you have another set of blacks going towards the professional realms of the lawyers and the doctors and the, you know what I'm saying? And then we spread the shit out. But too many times you don't see nothing within yourself, so you don't see nothing within your child. So you just say, listen, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep them occupied and just have them play all sports. And they could just run up and down the field for fucking 16 hours of shit, playing soccer, basketball, football, badminton, track. And it's like, damn, man. That's all they do all day? Just fucking run? Like animals?
And you know, we could probably move on or whatever, but just to give like the specifics of CTE, you know, it says in the New York Times article I'm reading, it says CTE often affects the superior frontal cortex, an area important for cognition, executive function, including working, memory, planning, and abstract reasoning. So when you see these football players out there, they doing crazy shit, you know, attacking women and pulling out guns, shooting in the crowds and doing whatever they be doing, all these stories, you name them, reasoning. That affects their reasoning. So, you know, that's the effect of this shit that the NFL is putting out there. And what they do, lock them up. They lock them up, take their fucking money, do shit like that. The insula also, which is a part of the brain, can be involved in CTE. This is the area important in emotion, social perception, and self-awareness. We know if you're too emotional, what can happen, especially you a black man. You already know. And then it says the amygdala, if I'm saying it correctly, is often severely affected. It is important in emotional control, aggression, and anxiety. And lastly, CTE frequently damages the mammillary bodies, and these are an important area in memory. So we're speaking on the running back from the Ravens. You know, he forgot what he was saying in the middle of the interview. So all of the side effects of CTE, and going back to the numbers, it was saying 110 out of 111 of the brains they studied had these. They had CTE. So basically it's saying that when you see these players doing the crazy shit and they not, you know, you think like, well, they got all this money, why would they be acting out? Part of this is because they're getting hit in the head all the time. And the NFL knows this, man. So we got to just pay attention to what's really happening out here. It's like,
remember the Bengals player? He was chasing his baby mom. So he was in the truck, the pickup truck, and he jumped on it. And then he was driving, and he fell and died and shit. Yeah, it's
Chris
like,
Johnson, I
that
think
was
my
something
name was.
I remember something. Yeah, I believe that's what it was too. And I remember I'm looking at that shit, and the first thing I remember saying to myself was, "What kind of fucking crazy shit is that?" You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you don't even attribute that, but that's what it is, man.
Greg Hardy,
then
had a bed full of guns. He's slamming the girl on the guns, and oh man.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. But then what you gonna do? Because this is the other part. You're gonna get that money. So if you get your shit wrong, you're gonna just learn to deal with that. If you're dealing with a Sandusky situation, getting fucked to be on the team, you're gonna deal with that. Because you saying to yourself like, yo, I'm on my way to make millions. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my way to make millions. I mean, shit. Look at Usher as a kid prodigy, right? Going up, what you hear? Him and Puffy wrestling over cereal or some shit like that. Now, what's gonna happen to him at the end of his career? He's gonna be having herpes. You know what I'm saying? It's like some people deal with shit because they like, yo, at the end, I can make a lot of money though. So, what's more important? Dealing with a little something. If at the end I could live like a rock star, or don't deal with that shit and be living like an average nigga. You'll be amazed how many people would choose the latter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you see it all the time.
You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed with that shit. Bobby Valentino. This nigga caught out there with the body, with the tranny and all kind of shit like that. And nigga caught out there and shit. Now he all embarrassed and shit. And I'm looking at this shit like, that's the problem. Y'all not even living your life. You want to live a life, but you don't want to live your life. You know what I'm saying? So these niggas feel like they have to always be part of some type of weird mix. And then let's say something happened where he got turned out into all of that weirdo shit with trannies and all kind of shit like that. I'm like, the weird part about that tranny shit is this, man. Really the whole gay shit, period. This is the weird shit about the whole gay shit. Them niggas follow the laws of sexuality. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They follow the laws, the normal laws of interaction of man and woman. They just want to pervert it. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They just want to pervert it because they follow the same fucking laws. You'll see one's aggressive, one's feminine. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking on the newspaper the other day. They're talking about this husband is pregnant, and I'm just like, what? Like, what the fuck is y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, what are y'all talking about? So that means this motherfucker's getting fucked. You see what I'm saying? Or using artificial insemination. Because I've seen one where the guy was the girl, and then the girl was the guy.
Yeah.
And they're married and having a baby. Yeah, I'm just like, yo, y'all some fucking weirdos, man. Yeah. Because y'all following the same laws of masculine and feminine energy. You following the same laws of man and woman. But you want to pervert it and make it like y'all doing, you know what I'm saying? Then you got weirdo niggas that be like, oh, like I heard, I listened to Corey Holcomb, and they had some Puerto Rican dude on there looking like Natural Tahuti. And he was like, he was talking about, the thing is, we're watching the evolution of sexuality evolve in our face or some shit. And I'm like, how the fuck is homosexuality an evolution of sexuality when it produces nothing? That makes no sense.
Sexuality can't evolve. It is what it is. What else can you fucking do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like,
there's new ways. I mean, come on, dog. There's no evolution of this shit. It's the evolution of people's minds. You know what I'm saying? The perversion of people's minds. You know what I'm saying? And we're becoming more accepting to the crazy shit. You know, it's every day for us now. So it's nothing for us to see a fucking transvestite. It's nothing for us to see the woman is the man and the man is the woman, and the man having the baby because the woman still got her man parts, and like it's all normal now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that's the craziness about it. It's like, you know, we make jokes and, you know, the memes out there and all that shit was funny. You know what I mean? But it's just like how these things are normal. You see. You know, we all, you know, I'm a YouTube. I love YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always on there catching videos and stuff like that. And you see people interviewing the tranny. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, this shit is normal. People talking, they calling him, her, and you know, it's just like, wow, this shit is fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but the what I take from it is like, no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that shit is some weirdo shit, and these ain't nothing but fucking weak ass black people. You know what I'm saying, man and woman, that fell. You know what I'm saying, and it's like, my whole shit is this, man. You leave that alone. You leave that amongst them, man. Move forward and keep pushing on. We get caught up in shit. You know what I'm saying? Because like I put on Facebook, it's amazing to me how black people is more accepting to homosexuality in all forms and facets, but not understanding and accepting to pro-blackness. That shit to me is strange as a motherfucker. That you ain't got no problem calling a dude that want to play like he a woman and say she, but if I tell you my new comedic name, you don't want to learn that and call me that. You know what I'm saying?
His name,
you know what I'm saying?
His name
like,
is Clarence. His mama named him Clarence.
You know what I'm saying?
Clarence Jones from well.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I ain't about to say that. That name too long. Yeah, that's just stupid. You know what I'm saying?
And you saw that
that's
in the Breakfast Club interview with Charlamagne and the crew, Envy and them, and Ye, with when they had Little Duval on there. And they spoke to Little Duval in reference to that case, and if he, what would he do if you know, he was dating a transvestite and you know, they didn't tell him until they had sex or whatever, and he, you know, his response was pretty much like, yo, they're gonna die if that happens. You know what I'm saying? And the response back was, oh, that's homophobic. That's what he said. That's a hate crime. That's a hate crime. And it's like, hold up, we taking up for the weird shit? It's like, okay, yeah, we're going to skip everything else that led up to this. We fucking got a heterosexual man that's being deceived by someone who is not who they are. And now we're not talking about a con, man. I mean, even though you are a con, man, you take my little dollars and go with it. You trying to take my sexuality, you know what I'm saying, which is the fucking one of the foundations of being a fucking man. You're going to fucking do that shit, so you have the right to deceive me. And I'm supposed to accept that consequence. It's pretty much what I'm taking from that. Because that's basically what he's you know, the situation you're putting them in. You're saying, okay, all right, you're going to get deceived by, you know, a transvestite, and they're going to come on to you sexually. They're going to be doing all this stuff to you, and then when it's time to pull the drawers down, they got boy parts. And you're supposed to be like, okay, I have to keep my calm and take the higher road. Even though you were deceived sexually, I mean, if you we becoming too accepting of the craziness.
But here's the funny part. It's not that we got too accepting. We didn't do shit. Right? 99% of the issues in the black community is the black woman. You know what I'm saying? The people that introduced a lot of that homosexuality into the hood, that shit was the black woman. Straight up. She introduced a lot of that shit into the hood with her gay friends and all kind of shit and bringing that through. I remember in the late 90s when niggas was like, yo, I ain't for that, yo. You ain't about to bring no damn gay nigga over to the crib. I got kids over here. And I remember black women fighting against their men for that shit. Oh, what's wrong with you? Wait, you got something to hide or something? And it's like, yo, I don't want that shit around my children. And it was like, I used to see women act like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we bugging or some shit like that. And it's like, I don't want that. So then what happened? once you get all that resistance, then you start to hear men say, I mean, I got to respect her because and I'm like, yo, how you as a man talking like that? How you as a man saying you accepting weirdo shit and ain't issuing no checks and balances as a man? Like, come on, man. That's weird. That's some weirdo shit. But then what happened is, once the woman falls for that shit, everything in society falls. And for whatever reason, us as men don't want to accept that reality. We rather parakeet the reality. I mean, the thought process that no, the man is the one that's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? There's only so much we could do. There's literally only so much we can do. You see what I'm saying? Outside of kidnapping and imprisoning these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? There's only so much you can do. But once you get that stubborn motherfucker that they just stubborn and just want to go against you, then guess what? Everything in their power they're going to do is go against you. That's it. Watch this story, Smoke, because I just heard this a couple of days ago. So, you know, my son, I wanted to name him Rastafari, right? And I wanted to name my second son Asar, right? But like I said, I got one of them weirdos that like to fight against their man. So, why the other day, their mother says, listen to what your son's saying, right? I'm like, yeah, what's up? My oldest son says he wanted his name to be Rastafari, right? And my youngest, he won't say his first name, but he will say his middle name, which is Asar. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, damn. And this ain't me telling her, yeah, I wanted to name you. Once the name is done, the name is done. That's it. There's nothing else to even talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is 4 years and 2 years later. Like, what am I, you know? So for them to say that, it's like, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you moving shit out of order. You know what I'm saying? You moving shit out of order. So that's why I always be saying, like, you got to elevate that black woman because 99% of the issues in our community stem from them. Straight up, stem from them. And when they elevate their mind and understand what the fuck is going on out here, you're going to see a lot of shit change. But a lot of shit is happening right now, it stems from them. That's why I be looking at men crazy because I'm like, listen to what you're saying. No, I'm the man. See, there's no father in that household. And you know why there's no father in that household? Because she ran him crazy. She probably ran the nigga out. You know what I'm saying? That's why there ain't no father in the household. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't even get that shit. It ain't the nigga just disappear.
It's definitely a flip side to the father absenteeism, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? It ain't all just niggas running out. You know what I mean? It's a condition that women create a lot of times to where it's like, yo, either I'm gonna choke her the fuck out, go to jail, or I'm leaving. You know what I'm saying? It's like you making this shit unbearable. So yeah, I can relate to that. I definitely.
That's why you gotta elevate. That's why you gotta elevate her mind because what happened is she's a receiver. She's a receiver. You see what I'm saying? So what happened when it comes to the black man? We understand that we have checks and balances. We understand that we lay law and order. We understand shit different. We deal with that logic, and all of that shit is true. So guess what? You try talking to a fool and see where you get you. All that logic, all that shit don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean shit. You sit there and you talk to a fool. It don't matter what common sense shit you have, yo. They will still look. You can break down why you shouldn't do this, do that, do that, do this. They'll still do it. Why? Because they're fools. And you know what's going to happen to you? Mr. Logical black man who understands, and if you just follow this, you know what's going to happen? You're going to go crazy. You're gonna go crazy. You're gonna go mad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're dealing with logic. You're trying to be logical and shit.
Yeah. Think about how many men out here try to be logical with their women. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you go crazy. That's why it's like she have to elevate her mind frame because she's the receiver. So when she don't want to listen and then want to go against the man, when the man say, yo, don't bring none of them weirdos from the hair salon or wherever you meet them at or whatever into my house. Because I'm going to tell you how ill it is, Smoke. I just thought about this, how ill it is. She couldn't bring no regular dude to the house.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? What the fuck you got to bring in my house for? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What the fuck you got to do? But then you're going to bring this weak nigga, though, to the house. You know what I'm saying? Switching ass nigga to the house. But guess what? That's still a nigga. I don't care what they want to call themselves now. So that manipulation game's still going to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's still going to be there. They had to be there because they convinced you to bring them into the house. Where a woman, not a girl, not a female, but a woman would say, gay or not, you's a dude. I can't bring you in the house. My man a trip. He ain't into that shit, yo. You ain't gonna have no man. There ain't no dominant. No. I'm gonna fuck. Yo, what the hell you got another dude inside the house for? You see what I'm saying? That's why it's always, everybody like to always tap into that woman. That's why, and slick dudes out there understand what I'm saying. You can meet a girl and ask her certain questions. She'll tell you everybody in town who's doing what, selling what, all of that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? She's a receiver. You know what I'm saying? She's a receiver. So once you tap into that, it poisons everything else. Everything else around her end up getting poisoned. That's why you got to elevate her mind and shit like that. They brung them damn all this homosexual shit. Every time you look on Facebook and guys will be like, yo, what's up before this bocce shit or whatever? Then all of a sudden you see women out there. Well, you know, if she decided, I'm like, what are y'all talking? I said, dude, why are you accepting it? Why are you accepting it?
You can tell that's real because
really what I believe. Let me say one more thing. Really what I believe is because of the chemicals and all the bullshit going on, right? It's fucking with motherfuckers. That's a lawsuit. That's actively saying we're fucking with you. So then they turn around and trying to convince us with the born that way shit. You know what I'm saying? The whole born that way shit. Niggas could be born gay, niggas could be born a girl trapped in a boy's body, but nobody want to be born a black leader. Nobody want to be born a black entrepreneur. Nobody want to be born. You know what I'm saying? Nothing.
You can't even be born a criminal. You can't even be born a prostitute. Some shit you gonna be. You gonna go to jail for that? Like yo, I was born that way. I was born a killer.
I was born that way. So 3-generation blood. You know what I'm saying? Granddaddy, daddy, you know what I'm saying? Mama.
Yeah,
I can't be born blood. I can't be born crib.
I don't apply to nothing else.
I could be born. Yeah, fuck out of here. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I can't be born a shooter. My daddy was a shooter. My granddaddy a shooter. My brother's a shooter. Yo, I was born in a long line of shooters. Jail. Boom. We gonna pass the law against that shit. You know what I'm saying? You a black leader. You a urbanist. You know what I'm saying? They ready to shut this shit down. But if you want to participate in weirdo activities, then you good money. That's crazy to me. That shit is crazy as fuck. You know what I'm saying? That shit belongs to the underground. Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, and I was gonna say like, you could tell that, you know, our women is affected by, you know, like they receive that gay, you know, culture is because of like you just look at the language, the shit that like the shit they say, the little like them little fleeks and all them little words they be saying. and Honey Child and all of that shit. And that's the shit that RuPaul, like, I always think back to RuPaul. Cause I remember being a kid and just, that was the first, whatever you wanted to call him, you know what I'm saying? Bad being a girl type shit that was popular. So I'm looking at this like, and it's just like, you see the women, the way they talk, they fucking, like, they makeup and shit like that. They gotta, like, transform their face. Only a man gotta do that to look good. Only a man gotta cover their face to make their shit look different so you don't know they're a fucking man. It's like women doing that shit, they got the fucking thick-ass eyebrows like niggas. It's like, it's like becoming part of their fabric. Like, the gay man culture is becoming part of, like, black woman culture. Like, that's, like, they bringing that shit together. It's like, you know, and you think that, like, those are new shit, but that's where it's coming from. They designers, they makeup stylists.
But look what I'm saying about the receiving again, right? So you can bring it back to the RuPaul shit, right? So then during that time, all you really heard was women talking like that and doing all of that, right? Then what happened now? You hear black men running around talking about sleek and you know, other gay man terms. Yeah,
sipping tea,
because I'm
sipping tea and all that shit.
Yeah, Chick Daddy said that shit talking about somebody's face beat, and one of them rants against Meek Mill. And I was like, when he said that shit, I said, damn, nigga, you old. I know you old. You older than me. Come on, man. We listen to Chick Daddy. How you running around talking gay man slang? But you know why they talk gay man slang? Because the woman. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. We just already explained that. The black woman sitting over here getting entertained by the gay man slang. When we didn't give a fuck about that. We like, man, get the fuck out of here with that shit. But then what happened? As they keep on receiving, no, but what I'm saying is that they keep receiving this shit, then guess what? It affects the community. It affects the community. And then we start to accept that shit. Just like with this metrosexual shit, right? In the 2000s. Niggas used to be like, yo, man, I bite my fingernails off. I let my shit grow. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like, niggas ain't care about manicure and shit. Then what you start hearing during the 2000s with the metrosexual. Oh, it's okay if a man want to get his fingers, the manicure and the pedicure and all kind of shit like that. And then we like, nah, get the fuck out of here. We ain't doing that shit. And then as time goes on, you start hearing, I mean, I do that shit because I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, keep it smooth for my lady, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it
started with the pedicure shit. No, get your toes, because you know niggas usually got fucked up feet. Niggas usually got fucked up. You know, get those corns off there, clip your toenails. Then that's when the next thing you know, you get that manicure. All right. They just push it on you. I remember that time too, you know. And again, I can remember reading an article back during that time, and they used to say Derek Jeter was he was the metrosexual. That's the original metrosexual. Yeah. But like, it was, they was making it more so like, compared to what you would say that is now, it was more like, he was a cool guy. He was clean cut. He had girls, you know what I'm saying? But he used to like just keep himself in order. When I was reading, I don't remember it being too much, even though it was stuff that I wouldn't do. But it's just more like, she always shaves, make sure he got this, you know what I mean? And it's like, all right, well, you know, I'm not doing all that. But Derek Jeter got bread. You're a ladies' man. It's more like, you're a ladies' man.
No, and he got ladies. And he got ladies. So if you say, that's some gay shit. Yeah, if you like, that's some gay shit, then you be like, nigga, you think Derek Jeter gay, my nigga? You know how many bitches you know what I'm saying? And it's like, so that's how you always get. You bypass that. Yeah, you only bypass it like that. You know what I'm saying? So then you got that with the Derek Jeter situation. What else came out during that time? Straight eye for the queer guy. No, queer eye for the straight guy.
Right.
What was that about? Right. So then you know what that did? That started making men say, I mean, the thing about gay people is they sure know how to match. They sure know how to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Be fly. You start hearing a lot of promoting of that shit in them 2000s. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So now, what's the promotion now? Oh, if a guy want to be a girl, you got to call him or her. And if the girl want to be a guy, you got to call her a he. And if you don't, that's disrespectful. So you got people switching their brain to accommodate to that. But I'm like, if y'all could accommodate to calling a fucking man a girl and accommodate calling a girl a man, then how come you can't accommodate raising your children up properly or accommodate, you know what I'm saying, saying, yo, y'all not little niggas. Y'all not pieces of shit. Y'all not crumb snatchers and you know what I'm saying? Y'all something royal. Why you don't have that same wavelength to do that for your seed? Why you can't have that same wavelength for yourself? Why you can't sit there and say, you know what? I need to work together with my family or with my significant other or with my children or, you know what I'm saying, the grandparents who the kids may not be taking care of their kids, so the grandparents got to take care. Okay, these aren't my children, but this is still my family. You know what I'm saying? So the same way you can look at a guy and a girl and call them what they want to be called, look at these grandchildren and raise them up to them. Like children, like your child. If you can change your mind frame like that. So that's what I don't get about black people. We can change our mind frame for bullshit. But we can't change our mind frame for righteousness. You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't get. I don't get that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when you got a black man on the block. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just to bypass the gay shit, put a closed chapter to that shit. So, just like you might have a brother, you know what I'm saying, on the block selling drugs, right? So he's selling drugs on the corner, and now you got another brother, they go in the corner, they want to sell drugs on that corner. So these two brothers are going to come and go to war with each other now for that corner. I have no problem with that. Y'all want to go to war with each other to sell poison to your people? Fine. But this is my question. Why you don't have that same possessiveness with the Arab with the corner store? You know what I'm saying? Why you don't have that same energy with the Arab in the corner store making money on that block? Why you don't got the same energy with the Chinese store on your block making money? Why you don't got the same energy with the East Indian and everybody else who's in your neighborhood making bread off of you? But if your brother want to make bread on that block, y'all ready to shoot up the block, kill innocent kids, keep grandparents and mothers in the house after certain times and shit. But the Chinese stores stay open 24 hours and never deliver food into the damn store. They just send food out. And you wonder where your cats and dogs are. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck out of here, man. Orange chicken. Fuck out of here, man. Yeah. And this is a study. Yeah. This is a study I want black people to do too. When you watch your local news and they talk about a failed inspection on a restaurant, I bet you it's a Chinese restaurant. They always fail their inspection. Always. Straight up. Always. 10 out of 10, it's them that failed the inspection. And guess what black people going to eat at? Chinese restaurant. But a black person who have the store, he might have a price higher or give you quote-unquote bad service, and you won't fuck with no more black people. But the Chinese stay having bad scores on their food shit, and we'll still eat Chinese food. That's the backward shit. We gotta quit that stupid shit. We gotta quit that stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we're doing everything that we're supposed to be doing to get ourselves out of the situation, but we do it in reverse. You know what I'm saying? We got a bunch of young niggas ready to die, ready to go to jail, shooting at each other. And we got police, shooting at each other because they protecting their hood, right? From other niggas that's running up in their hood. But the police can come inside and fuck with people in your hood, and y'all can't do shit. So y'all got the solution for the problem, but you don't use it for the problem. You use it against yourself. But okay, police is a government organization. That's impossible. Great. What about other ills in your community? The rapist, the child abuser. You know what I'm saying? What about these, like I said, these Chinese and stuff like that that's cooking their whatever orange chicken, whatever the fuck that is, into your neighborhood? You know what I'm saying? MSG all in y'all food and shit like that. Y'all not coming inside there rushing these people. Y'all not coming inside here demanding a percentage to even have a business in these communities. You know what I'm saying? Some people call it extortion. I call it paying homage. You know what I'm saying? That's called local taxes. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing that. But guess what? Let a black man want to do something on that block. We'll run each other off the block. So we have the solution for our problem. We just don't know how to execute it. That's why I say, instead of us talking about unity and unifying and what if we all came together to do some shit, just instill whatever you know, whatever you learn, the shit you read in, keep your book, and pass that on to your seed. That way they will be younger with the information that you have, and they'll be able to take off further than you. And then if you raise them correctly and they do everything that I'm saying and take off, they'll be able to turn around and pull you up as a parent. You're still going to be alive. Don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? And they'll pull you up.
Yeah, it's called.
But if you think you're getting this information and because you read a book, now you're the wisest man on the fucking planet and all kind of shit, and now you can elevate it, you can't because your time is over. That's the big secret that we don't get. Your time is over. Your job is to educate yourself on the information, implement changes, and cultivate your children on the information. So now your child's starting at 1, 2, 6, 7, 10, or whatever, and getting older with the information. Then they can use that confidence of knowing who they are, or you giving them who they are. You giving them the life lessons of what it is to be a man, giving them the life lessons of what it is to be a woman. And then you turn around now, and then you see them as they get older because they're following your guidelines, your structure. That's how you have to work it. But you can't look at it and think you're the one that's going to get the information, and you're the one that's going to change and save the day, and you're the one that's going to be in the history books and all kind of shit. Nah. JFK's father made his sacrifice so his sons could all get into politics and become the president. Not for him to do it. And that's how we have to look at that. Go ahead, Swamp. I'd like to split.
Basically, the children of the future, you know what I'm saying, pretty much. But it's just an investment, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you see people investing in their body, you know what I mean? When, y'all be looking on Instagram and shit like that a lot. You see, girls, they buying the tummy tea and all that so they can slim down in the gym and doing all that, you know what I'm saying? You see people investing in their car, you know what I'm saying, investing in jewelry. See niggas flashing their shit. Do that same shit to your kids. It's the same shit. You know what I'm saying? You invest in your kids, it's going to pay back on that back end. That back end gets lonely. That back end gets lonely, man. It's like you see, you know what I'm saying? I was at a wedding this past weekend or whatever, and, I don't know anybody. I didn't really know a lot of people in there, you know what I'm saying? My BM, her brother was getting married, so it was like all their extended family or whatever. And I was just looking, there was a lot of older people in there or whatever, and I was just looking around like, I don't know who's with who or whatever. I was just thinking like, man, damn, it's like you get old, you're going to need people to be around you, you know what I'm saying? And you see some people with, they got the kids going and bringing them their drinks. I was with, You know what I'm saying? I'm with my father-in-law, and
he got to walk. Not to go too far. That's one of the purposes and perks of having children. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can sit there and say, yo, go over there and give me that. Go over there and give me this right here.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I'm saying? Come here. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Like my father-in-law, he got to walk with a cane or whatever. You know, I'm going to grab his stuff or whatever, and things like that. It's just like, yo, you know, you're gonna need that. You're gonna need that. And the worst thing would be that you have the kids you went through, you found a woman, you actually had a kid, and then you don't invest in them, and you older and they don't give a damn about you, or they wasting their lives. You know what I'm saying? And you got to sit and watch that, and you see that quite often. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, yo, parents don't give a damn. The kids turn out fucked up, and the parents is now looking at their kid like this is their fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's wrong with this kid. Mm-hmm. And then they stressing them out. Yeah. They losing their money, bailing them out of jail, trying to correct their mistakes. When if you put that investment in the beginning, a lot of those mistakes won't happen or whatever. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was at the wedding or whatever. You know, you seeing the family and, you know, the moms. And, you know, the wedding always be like a great moment for the, you know, the bride and the groom or whatever. And, you know, you just see that and just see the families and shit like that. And so just imagine you don't got a wedding to go to because your kids don't fuck with you. Or, you know, you don't have kids or whatever. Or they can't come help you or get you down.
Not to cut you off. We got 33 more minutes on the show. Got call-in number 646-716-4654. This is something I definitely want to talk about. The title of this story is called South Africa's white-only town is going to launch a digital currency. Right? This is all right, so it goes like this. In Orania, Orania, is often described as a relic of apartheid. The rural town in South Africa, Northern Cape Province, was established in 1991. Shortly before the collapse of the apartheid regime, and it has been exclusively inhabited by white Afrikaners ever since. Spokesmen say there is no racial discrimination in Orania, but the foundational imperative to preserve Afrikaner culture effectively prohibits racial diversity. In one respect, however, the controversial community is forward-looking. Orania is about to launch its own digital currency. Aura tradition. The town of around 1,300 people already use a local currency, the Aura, which is printed by Orania's own Chamber of Commerce and distributed through its central bank. Let me read that again so black people understand, because even though you might be thinking this is just South Africa, no. There's places in the United States, I want to say it's like Oregon or some shit like that, where they have their own currency too, where they don't use the United States.
It's matter.
They have their own.
It's matter.
Yeah.
In most states,
a lot of
they
them
got places.
Right down.
Yeah, like shit. I got a list right here. Arizona dollars.
Wait. Before you say the list, I just want to emphasize this point. The town of around 1,300 people already uses a local currency. Okay? Not 13 million, 1,300, 1,300 people. So when you talk all of that, we need to unify. If I could get all the black people around and we can all think the same and we can all woo, 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 you sound stupid. Because that's not going to happen. You need something for black people to unify around, and that's called an economy. So it says the town of around 1,300 people already uses a local currency, the aura, which is printed by Arena's own Chamber of Commerce and distributed through its central bank, which means, right, which means they have an economy. They said the aura notes are technically vouchers, which is the same shit they do in America. It's pegged to the South African rand, where this money is pegged to the United States dollar, which expires after 3 years. They said that so every 3 years their money expires, they have to recreate it again. They said the digital version will be accessible via an app that allows users to buy e-aura from the central bank and then trade them with each other and local businesses on smartphones. The digital aura will have no expiration date. Now, Smoke, continue what you were saying about the places in America that have their own currency.
Arizona got Arizona dollars. California got barter bucks. The central pound. Colorado got Carbondale spuds and Carbondale, Colorado. That's actually an old one, but they got butt bucks and crested butt, Colorado. Connecticut that has Middletown cash. District of Columbia has an inactive one, but they had it, which was called Potomac's. And there's a list of a bunch of states. Florida has Clearwater Hours, which they started in 2012 till currently. That's in Tampa, Florida. Georgia has they had Atlanta Hours in Atlanta, Georgia. So a lot of states either have had it and it's maybe just discontinued and active, or they still continue it. Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Montana, and more, New York. So basically, at some point in time, these states either have had these, or not the states, but the actual towns, the cities have had these, or they still currently have them. And then there's a few that's interstate, where it was in Brattleboro, Vermont, and Chesterfield, New Hampshire. They have blue money. Disney dollars, which work in Disneyland and Disney World, and the Fourth Quarter Exchange, which works in the Pacific Northwest. That must be like Washington and states out there. So it's there. It's there. You know what I mean? This has happened before, and when you listen to
it's currently happening.
The story that you were talking about in Irania, when I think about that, it's like you have these dollars that are for your community or for your town. That's going to encourage spending in your town, which is going to encourage growth, which is an economy. So now you have the economy, but also that is that built-in growth that's going to happen because you have these dollars that you got to spend amongst your community. So what's the sense of having e-auras and you go spend money somewhere else? You're going to spend your auras here. You know what I'm saying? And that creates that stimulates the economy, the local economy. And so now people in that area can live and benefit from that.
Yeah, but the point of me bringing that up is because it's 1,300 people. You see what I'm saying? So when people sit there and they talk about how much people, if we all united, and can you believe if we all 1,300 people?
Yeah, see that makes it more. It brings it into a more real scope in the sense of that's something that we could do. We don't need everybody to do it. It just takes that infrastructure to be set up and ran.
All it takes is people to do it. That's all it takes, right?
Basically.
Because you got to understand that, and that's why I keep saying it's industry. If you have farmers producing, if you have people with factories producing. You see what I'm saying? We're making shit and producing shit. That generates money. That money now gets moved into a bank, this black bank. You see what I'm saying? And this bank now, when they say central bank, this is the central bank. This is the bank that holds it down. So boom, this money right here now, this is where we get our loans and all that shit, and it flush and distributes and with the bread. Now this bank now buying properties and doing what, the bank hustle, what the banks do. You know what I'm saying? To rebuild the communities and shit like that. People gonna move there because it's job opportunity. Like you said, so now you're gonna stay there because I can get, you know what I'm saying? I don't gotta leave my community. We use this money here. We don't use the white money. We use this money. You know what I'm saying? Then you're gonna see the population increase. But you don't need everybody to do shit. All you need is the people that's gonna do it. That could be 5 people. Literally. That could be 5 people. You know what I'm saying? Who have industry-based jobs where you can hire someone. And once you're able to do that, you know what I'm saying? And you got product that you're selling, that's how you're building and funneling this economy. Because once you look at the people that you hire now, let's say you got 500 people you got hired at this one factory before you build another. 500 people coming to your job every day, right? Would you say that's unity?
Say that again.
I said if you got 500 people that you employ that comes to your job every day, would you call that unity?
Yeah. You talking about black people?
Okay.
You're a black man and all black people?
Yeah, they're all black. So look, you got the same 500 people, right? They all come to your job every day. Would you call that these black people organized?
Yeah.
Right? So it's like everything that we're saying, man, we were just organized, if we unified, if we just knew how to treat one another, you mean to tell me when these 500 people is at work and they working with each other, they laughing, they making friends with each other, right? They going to lunch and stuff like that, right? Is that not us getting along? Is that not us in harmony? So it's like we want the outcome, but we don't want to create the system that's going to cause that. The system that's going to cause that is called an economy. That's what causes that. You can't look at people who don't have an economy and say, why you not happy? Why you got to rob your brother? Why you disrespecting this black woman? Damn, brother, how you going to rob me and stick me up? Don't you know I'm a black man just like you? Nobody want to hear that when your stomach growling. But when you create an economy, when you have industry-based businesses where you can hire 500 people, 1,000 people, and things of this nature, you're going to see 1,000 people, 1,500 people, 3,000 people organize, wake up in the morning, they all come into the same location, they greeting each other, you know what I'm saying? They happy, they get paid. When they come into the community, guess what? They come into the community with the same attitude. You dig what I'm saying, Smoke? Because when you're inside an industry where you have to greet people and speak and be pleasant, when you go out your house and see somebody, it's like it's going to be second nature for you to say, hey, good morning. Hey, how you doing? Because you say that every day. How you doing? Hey, what's up? Hey, what's going on? So, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? You're talking. So when you see somebody else, you greet too. That's what. They're going to feel obligated to greet you back. Because, it's like, what? Oh, okay, let's find out where he works at such and such a job. You see what I'm saying? Because that's how the economy works. All of that eliminates tension and stress and backbiting and all that weirdo shit. All of that eliminates that. We don't want to build an economy. We just want to solve the problems that we have. But we don't want to deal with the solution, which is the economy. Go ahead, son.
Yeah, I mean, part of the stress of living is the fact that we not going to our jobs or going to jobs of people that look like us. You know what I mean? It's like, shit, we be in corporate America, you know what I'm saying, in all forms, with all types of jobs. And it's like, the managers, you might see a black person, manager or supervisor. You see them sprinkled in there, be a black woman. You ain't gonna see too many black women doing shit in any roles of leadership. So it's like just coming into that and knowing you got to answer to a white boy or some Indian guy. They telling you what to do every damn day. That wears on you. You might not think about it every day, but that shit wear on you. You know what I'm saying? You taking orders from somebody else. Just taking orders. And you getting the lowest end of the benefit. They ain't paying you what you supposed to be paid. You always going to get less than that. You ain't getting compensated for the money you saved the company. You're not getting compensated for the customers you bring in. Yeah, if you do sales or something like that, yeah, you probably get your cut. But we know how that go. So it's like that wears on you. So consciously just seeing that, it's like you know you don't own it. You know this ain't yours. And that shit beats you down. It's like, you know, you say, put your head down, make sure you're there on time. Got to be here by this time. And again, it all comes back to when you look around, the people that's on the higher pedestal than you, they don't look like you. That's a stress within itself, having to deal with that shit. That's a constant reminder that you are below. Who want to deal with that?
And and ain't getting paid. And not getting paid properly. Because once you get around everybody that look like you, everybody look like they starving and they suffering. Because even if you're working now, like I said, within this economy now, and you're working for a black business, and this black man, he living good and shit like that, but guess what? Because it's the economy, and that money is circulating back and forth, and it's circulating back and forth in the community, it ain't gonna be no stress when it comes to how the money should work. You see what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be no stress on how the money should work, because it's gonna be like the money circulates in the community. So guess what? My children are gonna be able to get them summer jobs. I have a job. My woman have a job. If the kids go to a daycare, they don't got to charge no crazy ass fee. You see what I'm saying? Because we all working within us in the community, and not having no crazy ass fee. Guess what? That's gonna have other people from other communities might want to drive their kids out there to, you know what I'm saying? And then that's adding more money to the economy. You can now buy houses and shit like that at nice prices and shit. You can get your loan from the bank because the bank is working with you. So that decreased a lot of stress and tension, because now you got the tools and instruments to maneuver without the hurdles. You can now say to yourself, you know what? You go to school, and once you graduate elementary, junior high, and high school, you go to college. When you go to college, then you can get you a nice paying job in this black economy. And when that kid says, okay, I'm going to do that, and they do that, it'll work like that.
Yeah. But see, all of the benefits.
If you go to another economy, you got to play their rules in their game.
Because it's like all of the benefits is black. So it's like, okay, you know what I mean? I'm a worker. You know, I don't own anything in the economy. You know what I mean? My boss is black. I get paid. You know, I got to spend money just like regular. I don't own a house, but my landlord is black. You know, I got to get my car fixed. I go to my mechanic. My mechanic is black. So it's like there's going to be some people that's still spending the money like normal, but the benefit is still going to the community, because in the end, everybody's going to spend their money like normal. But what I'm saying is the whole thing is you're still going to be able to live. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not going to be crazy. You're going to be getting paid a livable wage. You see what I'm saying? Because the money circulates. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you can even be out, like you said, you in apartments and shit like that, but guess what? Y'all not in the apartment
and struggling because y'all able to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Because of the economy is strong. You see what I'm saying?
And the people that's profiting off of it is your people. So, you know, whoever's getting a little ends off of the rent that you paying, that's going to help a black family. You know what I'm saying? The backpack you bought from the vendor because you want to be fly, that's helping a black family. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a dual benefit. You know what I'm saying? You getting paid your fair wage. You got that stretch off your back. And, you know, the little extras in profit.
You got the black taxes. You got the black taxes that's collected. That shit goes to the black police force, the black firefighters. You see what I'm saying? The black doctors and nurses. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Like, all of that. So that way, if you do buy you anything, you live in your life how you live your life, you know, because the money circulates, it's touching everything within our society that benefits us. And as more black children is born and more black people move to these communities, and these communities spread out wider and thicker over hundreds of years and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? We're really over decades, but then, you know, get into the hundreds of years. You know what I'm saying? Then we're not going to see us moving savagery like that. We're going to see who the true savages is because it's going to be thriving. But we're not going to be moving savagely towards us. Of course, I know somebody thinking about military, but yeah, when you get in that money, when you get that central bank and that industry cranking, where you can hire your people, then you can worry about building a military. But you can't worry about getting a military first, and you ain't got no economy to fund your military. But this is what I wanted to talk about. All right, well, let me just finish that the digital currency story too, and I'm going to get into another story. So the initiative is intended to further the town's independence. Some Orientals even aspire to an independent Africana state, as well as to allow more effective transactions. E-Aura would save Arena the cost of printing its paper currency, and trading digital currency between smartphones can avoid the fees that apply to certain credit card transactions. It is basically electronic cash that will be moved from wallet to wallet with every transaction without the commercial banking standing in the middle. In this way, friction and cost is removed from the transaction. Both consumers and retailers will save between 3 to 5% per transaction. They got prototypes and already been successfully tested, and the new currency could be in circulation within a year, and that means 2018. I'm trying to see where the part of the story is. Okay, it must be over here. There's a part of the story with the guy that's going to help. They say the Africana town is partnering with a prize-winning economist. Dawei Rodet, D-A-W-I-E-R-O-O-D-T. The Afrikaner town of 1300 is partnering with prize-winning economist Dawei Rodet, R-O-O-D-T, to create the currency. Root is aware that working with Arena is controversial, but says the opportunity is too exciting to turn down. I'm going out of my way to explain that my interest is purely academic. Where else is there opportunity for an economist to do an experiment like this? This is like a petri dish. I want to see what environment is created by digital currency. Root has studied digital currency extensively and have great faith in its disruptive power. He expects the e-Aura to allow cheaper transactions, giving rise to wider economic benefits and reduce reliance on traditional banks he believes it could eventually be decoupled from the rand to become a full currency. And like I said, that's a town
like
of 1,300. Yeah, basically like Bitcoin. And that's a town of 1,300. You see what I'm saying? So when you're listening to these pro-blacks and they're talking about, yeah, we need to take over town, we should have the whole bottom part of America and all the other little silly-ass fucking shit. Yo, just let them know, without an economy, we can't do nothing. They didn't say the Afrikaners went to talk to an Afrikaner scholar about, you know what I'm saying, about the origins of whatever. No, they went to an economist. Why? Because this deals with economy. That's the only way you can do shit. They're nation building, and it's only 1,300 people. And they're nation building. We could have the same shit, black people, but guess what? We need an economy. Economy is the key. Uniting is not the key. Economy is the key. Because when you have a job, I've heard black people complain how black people don't spend with black people. I hear black people complain that when a black person want to sell something to another black person, that black person don't want to buy it. But I've never heard a black person complain and say, I open up a business and black people act like they don't want to work. I'm trying to hire black people and nobody want to come in. There's a big ass sign saying help wanted and nobody's interested. We have to create industry to hire each other. When you're creating industry and your money and revenue is tied into a black bank, you could be on the boards. You could be having influence where you can let the bank that you're banking with know, let them know, listen, as a black bank, I need to know what your policy is because, you know what I'm saying, it has to be centered on black people. And if this black person, this black banker now hear you talk, and if he right-minded and be like, oh, okay, you know what, I feel like that within, but I can't say that verbally outside because I don't want to get, you know what I'm saying, ousted. But, okay, I agree with you. You, black industry business maker or whatever I'm trying to say, leader, can now develop a relationship with the black bank owner or manager or whatever the position, you know what I'm saying, CEO, whatever, top nigga, you know what I'm saying? Y'all have a relationship. Now you got the bank, you got the industry. You see what I'm saying? Y'all find out some black contractors and and things of this nature. Redevelop your communities. You'll see the people knocking on the door trying to work. You'll literally see crime decrease. Within 10 years, you will see crime eliminated within 10 years because you got to let some of that shit going to still happen because it's still fresh. You know what I'm saying? But you got to give it a good 10 years. Yeah, it's not perfect, but you know, we got to, because you know what it is? It's about breathing. And we got bred down into what we are right now. Incapable, incompetent, and they ain't worth shit. You see what I'm saying? So we got to breed ourselves back up as skilled people. You know what I'm saying? Come on, we was the ones welding and doing, you know, pipe work and electricity and woodsmen, craftsmen, and all kind of shit like that. Now some of these niggas don't know how to toast bread. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we got bred down into being incompetent. But you can't think, okay, for us to fix it, we all need to know. The only thing we all need to do is raise your children to be competent. You know what I'm saying? When you see your child doing something that's remarkable, showing interest in something, you got to cultivate that and push your child towards that. We have to raise a stronger generation, understanding that that's what your children are. But we got to stop thinking we're the one that's going to do something, because we're not. And this is a story I want to say before, because we got 5 more minutes. Because of 2017, 100 years ago, 1917, was the silent parade of 1917. So I just want to read upon that, you know what I'm saying? So it goes, to the beat of a muffled drum, 8,000 Negro men, women, and children marched down Fifth Avenue yesterday in a parade of silent protest against acts of discrimination and oppression inflicted upon them in this country and in other parts of the world. Without a shout or cheer, they made their cause known through the many banners which they carried, calling attention to Jim Crowism, segregation, disenfranchisement, and riots of Waco, Memphis, and East St. Louis. The silent parade of July 28, 1917 was like anything ever seen in New York City. Today is considered New York's and most likely America's first African-American civil rights march. New York has seen its share of protest parades since the start of World War I, but none had featured so prominently the city's African-American population, gathering in such impressive numbers along New York's wealthiest streets. The extraordinary precision was organized by the burgeoning NAACP, a group concerned black and white activists and intellectuals which had formed less than a decade earlier in New York. The march was organized in direct response to a horrible plague of violence against black Americans in the 1910s. Culminating in the East St. Louis riots, a massacre involving white mobs storming black neighborhoods and sheer racial animus. 2 sets of riots in May and July 1917 left almost 200 people dead. Rioters burned black neighborhoods, cutting off water hoses and watching as families fled the burning buildings to be picked off by gunmen. Sound familiar? That's the same shit they did in Tulsa. Now, peep game, Smoke, before I continue. They said the march was organized in direct response to a horrible plague of violence against black Americans in the 1910s, right? So in the turning of the century, once the 1900s happened, in the turning of the century, white people started to systematically burn down black towns. By the time 1921 happened, Tulsa was burned down. You see what I'm saying? That's why everybody keeps screaming Tulsa, because Tulsa burned down in 1921. But you know what? We're gonna talk about all of these riots, the East St. Louis riot and all. You know what I'm saying? Probably tomorrow, because I know we're gonna be running out of time. So then it goes to be picked up by gunmen. The massacre was but one of several violent incidents aimed at new black laborers. Pointed attacks meant to strike fear in the hearts of black Americans. The circumstances of World War I exacerbated an already volatile crisis, as W.E.B. Du Bois would explain it. The Negro attacked by higher wages, the Negro attracted by higher wages in the North and repelled by the menace of lynching and caste in the South, moved in to fill the new labor demand caused by war. The common laborer in the North is caught between the tyranny of exclusive trade unions and the underbiting of blacks. The rest is murder and riot and unrest. White northern laborers find killing Negroes a safe, lucrative employment which commends them to the American Federation of Labor. Let me read that again. White northern laborers find killing Negroes a safe, lucrative employment which commends them to the American Federation of Labor. In New York, at a meeting of the NAACP in Harlem, President James Weldon Johnson, at the suggestion of New York Evening Post editor Oswald Villard, proposed an unusual but effective form of protest, an army of marches along Fifth Avenue, drawing attention to the victims of East St. Louis riot. And in an unprecedented decision by the organizers, it would consist only of black marches. New York newspaper reports of the riots passively mentioned the tragic course of the black residents of East St. Louis, a dramatic march down the city's most prosperous streets, comprised of those very people most likely to be victimized in such riots, would jar the delicate sensibilities of insulated New Yorkers. This was a fairly radical idea for its time. Decades after the Civil War, most Americans, even in the most progressive states, still look skeptical at organized black movements. Part of the NAACP's early legitimacy for many was that it was formed by a mixture of black and white activists. In 1915, the NAACP protest the release of the film Birth of a Nation, the trailblazing film that positively depicted the Ku Klux Klan while demonizing African Americans. The protest failed to stop the film's release, but the organized resistance galvanized the NAACP and the black community for future battles. Now, peep this, Smoke. 1915. So 1910, they were saying how, there was a lot of riots, massacres, and shit going on. 1915, they come out with a fucking movie demonizing the black peoples on Birth of a Nation. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's 1917. You know what I'm saying? 1915. So while the East St. Louis tragedy was the focus of the mournful July 28th gathering, the march was intended as a larger protest against civil rights abuses in the United States. One of many flyers passed around during the march declared, "We march because we are thoroughly opposed to Jim Crow cars, segregation, disenfranchisement, and the host of evils that are forced upon us. We march in memory of our butchered dead, the massacre of honest tollers who were removing the reproach of laziness and thriftlessness hurled at the entire race. They died to prove our worthiness to live. We live in spite of death, shadowing us and ours." So this is the turmoil that black people is in America 100 years ago. So when I'm hearing black people always talk that stupid shit about shit getting better, how? If we dealing with the same shit for 100 years. Now we know it's 100 plus years. We know it ain't 100 years. But we talking about the first time we did what, Smoke? No, but people, Smoke, this is what we did. We organized. We came together. We marched. 100 years later, still the same fucking shit. 100 years later.
Yeah.
The thousands of people who marched today came from virtually every African American church in New York City and the surrounding area. A drum corps and a troop of black Boy Scouts vibrantly led the parade, with women and children following behind, garbed in white dresses. The men, some in United States Army uniforms, marched last behind a row of flag bearers, holding representative flags from the United States, Great Britain, Liberia, and Haiti. You know why Haiti? You know why Haiti, right, Smoke?
Wow.
Because the early 1900s, Black America was fully aware of the story of Toussaint Overture in the Haiti Revolution and fighting Napoleon. That shit was common knowledge back then, where by the time we get there, niggas don't even know shit about Haiti.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean about breeding down, how we get bred down. Because shit that we used to know, we don't know now. History we used to know, we don't know now. Yeah, Liberia is a motherfucking nation in Africa that was basically colonized by the United States for black people to repatriate. You know what I'm saying? And I don't say that glorifying it, because he's still colonizing, and the blacks that went there was moving like white people, but that's why Liberia is one of it says the men, some in United States Army uniforms, marched last behind a row of flag bearers holding representative flags from the United States, Great Britain, Liberia, and Haiti. So that's why I brought up Liberia and Haiti. This is something else I know, Smoke. It said the thousands of people who marched that day came from virtually every African-American church in New York City and the surrounding area. A drum corps and a troop of black Boy Scouts vibrantly led the parade. You hear me? The black Boy Scouts vibrantly led the parade. Now, guess who was next? With the woman and children following behind, dressed in white. You know who was last? The men.
The men. Soldiers.
In the United States Army uniform, because it's showing you the rank and order. That's the correct rank and order. The children, because that's the next generation. The mother, the woman, because she's the teacher, the nourisher, and the one that breeds these children. Then come the man. We're the protection. We're the ones that's going to defend the nation, the next generation, which is the youth, and we're going to defend our woman. That's why we're here at the end. Because I always say the top and the bottom is the same shit. That's why we're here at the end, because our focus is for the next generation to move forward. When shit get thick, that's when we come out. And what it says, the men, some in United States Army uniform. You see what I'm saying? That's when we come out. That's the natural order, how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the children lead it, because y'all the next generation. You see, that's what we don't get. So, it goes on and on. But at the end of the day, man, it's just crazy, because it's like we're going through the same stuff, basically what I'm saying. So instead of us keep thinking shit is getting better or looking for shit to get better, what we need to do is understand that it ain't going to get better. And the only thing we can do is better ourselves. And the only way for us to better ourselves is through economics. You know what I'm saying? And having an economy. No economy, nothing's going to work. Well, I'm going to pray to God. Nothing's going to work. Well, I'm going to change my name. Nothing's going to work. Well, I'm going to move in a white neighborhood. Nothing's going to work. We have to have an economy. And just like I said, you got this small town, racist town in damn South Africa, a town of 1,300. Atlanta have more than 1,300 people. Baltimore have more than 1,300 black people. Brooklyn have more than 1,300 black people. Chicago, Detroit, Miami, Hughes, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear black people talk no more. But it's silly shit about if we all unify. I don't want to hear no shit about you can't have your own your own economy. You can't have your own dollar circulating in your community. I don't want to hear that because you just said a whole list of states in America that use their own currency or used to use their own currency. So I don't want to hear that no more. You know what I'm saying? We got to go into the next stage of doing. And that's why I'm always going to talk economy. And I'm always going to say when we're talking. Yeah, but that's why I always got to say industry-based. Industry-based. We need somebody making plates and forks and spoons and cups and toys and stands and, you know what I'm saying? We don't need no more goddamn barbershops and beauty supply stores and clubs and restaurants and, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I got a franchise. Franchises. Because all them franchises be service-based. Foot Lockers, Subways, McDonald's.
Yeah,
if we all decided to cook within our homes, all these service-based shits would be closed. So why would you open up a service-based shit? Where the fuck is... We need tires. Let's get some tire manufacturing. Let's get some bricks. And I don't mean them bricks. I'm talking about real bricks, you know what I'm saying? And you can build a house, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we gotta if we sit as adults, whatever your plan is, whatever your thought is, if you know you ain't gonna be able to do it, push that towards your child. Put that towards your children. The same way you push beer to your child, the same way you push cursing to your child and destroying their self-esteem and abuse and sexual misconduct and fucking kicking them out and all kind of the weirdo shit, handing them off to your girlfriends and all. Push them towards being better than you. And if we all, that's what we should all unify in thinking. If we all push our child to be better than who the parent is, then at the very least, we'll raise a generation of children into adulthood that's better than the previous generation, because the previous generation raised their kids to be better than them. How about that? So on that note, we're coming to that end. You know, thanks for listening.